If you've never seen me on YouTube before, I have a lot of fun. In fact, Lori says I'm the fun man of Govcon, which I accept that title. And by the way, some people call me Hee Hee, right? So, because I like to laugh a lot. So, welcome everybody. Welcome Chase. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you everyone for being here today. Thanks, Laura, of course. Come on, look at you guys. Maria, Erica, Free, who's not here. Everybody else from my team. Check the mic, make sure we're working. So, yes, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy everyone is here today. And
your old mama.
Thank you, Mom. See, somebody else gotta keep me in check over here. And thank you, Mama You, is what we call her, okay, on our podcast. If you ever listen to her episode, it's phenomenal. And she preaches, right, delivering excellence, right, for everyone. And so that's something that she taught me a long time ago when she first came onto my show. So today, did you guys get my other slide? Yeah, there you go. So how are we here and why are we here? For me, the issue that I'm dealing with and why I chose to take on this challenge is essentially the theme is closing the gap, right? And if you look at those statistics, small businesses have been awarded 32% fewer contracts in 2018 versus 2009. And the number of companies working on contracts with the Department of Defense has declined by 24,000. And then on GSA, 8,000, Department of Veteran Affairs, and Interior, 13,000 fewer companies. However, at the same time, the number of contract and actions in terms of the dollars have been rising. So the number of companies is shrinking and the dollars are rising. And so that's what we talk about when we say closing the gap, right? So we want to get more people into these programs, teaching them how to do it, helping them participate, doing it the right way, delivering quality services, and also, right, supporting the warfighter. And so today, that's what I want this conversation to be about. And I want to introduce my first panel, Mr. Travis Mack, CEO of Salex Corporation. He's the chairman of Vallejo Networks, and also he runs Greenwood Self-Storage Funds. All right, and I'm going to bring out, so we're going to just have a casual conversation, because I could say my name for 30 minutes, but I'm not going to do that today. Thank you. All right, Mr. Travis Mack. Listen, tell us a little bit about your background, tell us where you come from, tell us how you got here today, about your businesses and your organizations you support.
Well, first of all, I'm Travis Mack. I am the CEO, the chairman and CEO of the Salex Corporation. We do about $100 million in annual revenue, got about 800 employees nationwide, primarily with the Department of Defense. We do things like test range management, logistics, engineering services, and information technology support for DoD components, Army, Navy, Air Force. And so I am thrilled to be here with my good friend, Mr. Eric Coffie, and looking forward to having a wonderful conversation and trying to give some nuggets at the end of the day, right? Some inside game, right, on how you succeed in the federal contracting world, because you know what? It's absolutely tough sometimes. And it's okay to be, feel like you've been beaten up a couple times, but I'll give you a few tidbits that I used over the years, and it's been a long time. I swear. Where's my daughter? My daughter's here. Where you at next? She is. That's my girl. So when I started this, she was an absolute baby, and now she's a grown woman, and so she's had to endure all of these years of me going through this, and she's probably the one. My kids are probably the ones that have sacrificed the most, because Daddy wasn't there a lot, but he's out trying to grow a business, and I'm always gracious to them to allow me to do this. So anyway, I'm looking forward to chatting with you. I'm not going to go into all the other stuff, but let's have some fun.
All right, thank you. And Lori?
Hello, everybody. Yes, let's have some fun. I'm President and CEO of Civilian Management Solutions, and I've been in the business for 10 years, and we provide professional consulting services, mostly in the area of conference and facilities management. We also do program, project, financials, some grants management, and some human capital training. We're inside of DoD as well as the civilian side, and we're a cleared company as well. I am from Chicago, born and raised. Chi-town in the house, and we're special. But anyway, I joined the United States Marine Corps and I became a little more special. So I was kind of trained from a very young age to be an entrepreneur. You know, I don't mind telling it, and even in this crowd, I'll tell it. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, legal and illegal. I'm grateful that I've made it completely to the other side, and as I told you, I'm a cleared company to show you how clean I am. I'm a lot cleaner. Praise the Lord. But entrepreneurship has always been a thing for me, and I have just stayed with it. And when government contracting kind of appeared in my life, I just knew it to be the wealth transfer. And I've been attached to it ever since. I was an advocate long before my company ever made any money. So I've been on the Hill about 5 times now, speaking for people that look like me, including service-disabled veterans, regarding what our needs are, some of the issues, telling them the good things that they do, but also reminding them about the things that they can improve on. So I'm grateful to be here to join in on this panel.
Thank you. By the way, and again, thank you too for being here today. I appreciate your time. If you have not already listened to their podcast, make sure to do that. Travis and Lori's podcasts are incredible. So I'm gonna, by the way, you're gonna hear a constant thing. I'm gonna plug the podcast, and all of my people know I give out homework assignments, so you're gonna need some notes, take out a homework assignment. And the first homework assignment is make sure you follow all of us on LinkedIn. That's homework number 1. All right, so follow everybody on LinkedIn. Lori's on LinkedIn, Travis on LinkedIn, Ms. Corliss is on LinkedIn, Brandon's on LinkedIn, Maria, Erica, so follow us on LinkedIn is the first thing. So Travis, can we start off today with telling us a little bit about what things were like when you first got started versus today?
Well, I was broke. Right? That's kind of what we all kind of started out at, working multiple jobs. And, like Dory said, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I like solving things. I like trying to figure out a solution for things. And so, started out as an IT consulting firm, to be honest with you, when I first started Salix. By the way, Salix is a combination of my kids' names. Nothing fancy, not some fancy algorithm. My son's name is Sage, and my daughter's name is Alexia, who's in the back. And that's how I came up with the name Salix. And we started out as an IT consulting firm. During the .com implosion, how brilliant was that? Who starts an IT company, right, during the middle of a catastrophe? That was me. I always pat myself on the back on that. But we started as an IT consulting firm. .com comes, .com goes, and I'm sitting in my living room trying to figure out what do I do next. I get a call from a buddy of mine that was down in TRW at the time. He says, Travis, hey, there might be an opportunity down here. Are you willing to come down and talk to these folks? Didn't have a dime to my name. In fact, I called my mother and said, hey mom, can you send me 20 bucks? I need some gas. I gotta drive down here and we'll see what happens. So best $20 my mother ever gave me. So anyway, went down there and had a conversation with TRW, convinced them that we knew what we were doing. Wasn't 100% sure at the time, but again, I told y'all I had tried figuring out solutions, right? So we figured it out on how we were going to support them. And that was the beginning of Salix right there. Salix started with one person doing one task on one contract. That's it. And not having a real plan of how we were going to support that at the time. But at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, your one gift is what? You know how to figure things out, right? And that gift will take you and will keep moving you in a direction that will forever give you a return. So that's kind of the beginning of Salix and how we started, and it's worked out well.
So now Salix has 800 employees?
Correct.
Okay, so there's a long part of that story from 1 to 800 employees. That we left out of.
We didn't want to be here all day.
That's okay. I'm sure the people want to know how to get employee number 2 at the very least. And you talk about how do we get from 1 to 2, and then maybe 5, 10.
Sure.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, listen. I think this is certainly all a process at the end of the day, and you're going to fail more than you win. Everyone should say that together. You will fail more than you win. I guarantee that. That's one thing I can guarantee. that's going to happen. But what we did was, I am a huge advocate of being in the room. Show up. Regardless of whether you think you're going to win, show up and continue to show up. And that's what we did. So we had a quality assurance person. We had done pretty well on that particular contract, and we kept going to the events, without any expectation of a return, right? A return on the investment, that 10, 15, 20 bucks that I spent on gas or whatever the case may be. And happened to be at a small business show, and we had been working with TRW. I mentioned that we were working with TRW, and they said, we have a socioeconomic requirement. Are you guys available? I said, where do you need us to be? So 3 days later, I showed up, and that was employee number 2 and number 3. And that's, just keep going. Just keep going. At the end of the day, keep going. And you gotta keep showing up. And when you talk and when you speak about your organization, it has to be intentional, it has to be with purpose. It has to be. And no one knows your business better than you, and you have to be able to deliver that. You can't talk 30 minutes telling somebody about your company. I'm sorry, you got 30 seconds. And you better be able to spit it with the best of them, okay? Right? And you better be in your room practicing. You better be in your room talking about your capability. Because what's the first thing you get asked? Well, so what do you do? And you got 30 seconds. And I guarantee they're looking at the clock. 28. 22, 17, right? And you have to be efficient and proficient with your delivery.
Lori, for your company, one of the things when you first started that separated you from everyone else, that made you feel like, hey, I deserve to be here?
Wow, that's a tough question to ask a black woman. Because they didn't want me in the room. I, as a woman that served in the Marine Corps, one thing I'm not is afraid of a man. Okay, I don't care how big you are, whatever. I mean, I've been trained. So the issue of actually now living this full life of a civilian, good 20 years probably before I got introduced to government contracting work, and I like, wow, love transfer, I'm all in. Went at it. But when I started showing up broke, introducing myself.
Common thing. Everybody was broke.
Paid myself minimum wage for 4.5 years. Small time million today. I'm not where he's at, but I'm on my way. We expect to hit 14 million at the end of this year.
All right.
But the end result of going into those places during those 4.5 years with my business card and the website and everything, knowing that I haven't gotten there, being asked about, what a restroom, and thinking I know, the Coke products. I mean, just odd kind of questions that clearly you think I work here. And me having to, reach out, ladies, reach out with a firm grip. My name is Lori Sales. I'm President and CEO of Civilian Management Solutions. And the fight of staying in the room, because of course I could feel humiliated and roll out. So I would say the differentiator for me was having the background, being really from the streets of Chicago, having brothers and the father that sold into my life, and then joining the United States Marine Corps. So my personality is that you can't tell me what I cannot do. Right? And even though I had all these jobs I was doing before I ever fell into Govcon, I was always a leader wherever I was. I didn't recognize it when it was going down. I was just doing my job. But Lori, get that to Lori. Lori can do that. I'm never making 6 figures. Now that's back then. You know what I'm saying? Because we make sure I get 6 figures today. Come on, everybody now. That's right. So the reality of not knowing my value was what I realized now that I'm in this game of government contracting. But they could not affect my self-esteem because I had done too much before they ever met me. And so one of the problems I'm seeing with women that allow me to get in this, because I care, is that, I don't know if y'all have noticed how I'm dressed, but I'm gonna stand up on purpose. Notice I got a jacket on it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, ladies? I got a jacket on it. If I take this off, I look different. So put a jacket on it, please. So you can get some respect.
Right.
Because you will get disrespected. Don't be attractive when you walk in a room without a jacket on it. Because you're going to have to deal with a whole nother level. I'm just being honest with you. Right? That's one of the things that the men don't get, won't get, don't expect them to get it. Because it's not their journey. But they will not miss you walking in the door if you ain't got a jacket on it. So your business card becomes something else other than why you came. Right? So that's my feed regarding as women joining into this level of entrepreneurship. Because these people got millions. You're not walking in a room where people got $100,000. They got millions. So you got to make sure you show up right. Thank you so much for that.
I like that. Ooh. That's deep, right? I know.
That's real deep.
All right.
That's deep.
You done threw off all my questions.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, but
Nah, that's okay.
you asked me to come up here, so
This is why we
I'm gonna
are
tell it like it's
here. This is why we're here. Look, you know, and one of the things, I'll be honest with you, that why we're doing this is because, believe it or not, you know, Maria mentioned all those subscribers, everything like that. We've actually hit 40 million impressions, right? We've got over 2 million views on our channel. We're getting 7,000 hours of people watching our content, and I still don't get invited to speak on stage.
That's facts.
They don't want me speaking. They don't want, it's a pay-for-play game. So if I'm not sponsoring, I'm not writing a check, they don't invite me to speak. So I want to bring people on here and give them a platform to talk about successful people that are not typically always given a platform. So that you all can see, right, what people, like I know that, again, Travis and I spend a lot of time together, you know, and you get to see what we experience and realize where it came from and understand that, okay? And know that the theme is the same. Everyone started off broke. If you watch my channel, you know my background. I faced a lawsuit. I lost $200,000 in a lawsuit. Then I got sued for another $200,000. And so I start off the second time $500,000 in the hole. In the hole. But I still started. And it goes back to what Mama you said, right? Perseverance. It's the other skill sets that are not technical. That is what kept everyone here. So now let's get into something, Travis. Money. All right, how did you, okay, you were broke, right? So when you first needed financing, what did you do?
Well, you know, with regards to financing, everybody probably in this room, right, faces that challenge as an entrepreneur. Unless you have a rich uncle or a rich dad or a rich mom, whatever the case may be, right? Or a trust fund that you can tap into, whatever the case may be. And as an entrepreneur, you have to be very creative in how you go about this. And I love Chase to death. They my folks, they really are. But at the end of the day, when I first started, I got turned down 12 times by the major banks, right? They're not in the business of venture. They're not in the business of taking those kind of risks, right, with regards to financing organizations, right? And that's their job. So at the end of the day, I had to become creative. And the first thing you need to do as an entrepreneur, you need to look for alternative financing mechanisms. There are a ton of them out there. In fact, most of the major banks will tell you where these are located and who you need to talk to. You know, things like the Economic Development Collaborative. There are certainly a ton of local resources that you can use. But understand, the first time that you go, you're probably not going to succeed. We talk about perseverance, right? What if I give up on denial number 9? What if I give up on denial number 10? What if I give up on denial number 11? And by then I'm hurt, feelings hurt. I'm looking at myself like, oh my goodness, I financed me. Why wouldn't they finance me, right? But at the end of the day, you have to keep going. If you're committed to your belief in what you think is true and that you have a good product or good service, then you have to keep going. The only way you lose is if you quit, right? And perseverance I think we talked about it. I got a 48-hour timeout rule. Sometimes you get beat up so bad that it's okay if you take 48 hours to yourself to heal. It is, right? Because if not, you're gonna feel it. So you have to kind of take care of yourself in that way. And so those alternative financing mechanisms that are out there, you need to do homework. You need to figure out where they are at. Ask questions. Hey, ask questions, and then you will be led to them. Because that's what I use. My first, $250,000 loan wasn't from, wasn't from Wells, wasn't from Bank of America. It was from the EDCBC. It was also from a local institution where their mandate was to loan to companies or individuals that had been denied by the major banks. And so there are opportunities that are out there. You just got to do the homework. Don't expect anybody to do it for you. You have to do it.
So, this is something I tell people all the time. Apply, because even if you get denied, save your denial letters, because there's people out here that will give you funding based on those denial letters. But so many of us self-sabotage, we don't even apply. We're like, oh, I know they're going to deny me. Right? Lori, you got something to say?
No, that's good is what I'm hearing you say, because bottom line, our mother and father came together and created you. Right? Out of how many things is trying to find yourself and created you. So that means you are responsible for you in the end. So I love what he was saying, that you have to not give up on you, no matter what the situation may be. And when it comes to getting money, I was fortunate to have a relationship with credit union. And that's where my money runs through. Now, I got Chase. I got several things with Chase. But I got several things in a couple other banks, but, because I'm a serial entrepreneur, so civility is not the only thing I do. However, that credit union is where I got my money. And the other recommendation I'll put on there is that don't just use all this technology. Go into the bank. Walk in there, I see a face I know. Walk in there, say something, I walk in there now, hey Lori, how you doing? I'm in sales. I didn't even know what I was doing. But now when I walk in, everybody know me. I don't pay for nothing that I shouldn't be paying for. I'm not paying, can you waive that fee? Because them fees, Lord Jesus. Get on my nerve with them fees, I got money in here and I got to pay a fee. I don't understand that. So I bring that to the table, right? Again, you have not because you ask not. So that's the boldness of you being you, completely who you are, and developing yourself and your strength of being able to be as assertive and aggressive that they're talking about getting your money.
I like it. I don't see my whole no flying fingers up, so I must be good on time. Okay, Erica. All right. One last question, Erica. How can people sitting in the audience that don't know their value, what are some of the ways in which you can talk to them about, how to find that, or how to articulate that, or, how to think different about themselves? We'll let you start, Lori, since you brought up the value question.
There's different sources out here in books and audio books. I love the Bible myself.
Amen.
And I applied the biblical principles in my life. And it has helped change my life just because I practice that. But if you got to pick up the secret, go ahead. It's just a copycat of the Bible. You got to go with living in the legacy. Go ahead. It's just a copycat of the Bible. The principles are the principles, and the principles will work for anybody, anywhere, at any time. And if you're able to acknowledge that part and stand in who you are, who mom and daddy created, uniquely and genuinely as you, you'll find your value. And you don't have to do it based off of being like him or being like me. It's about being like you. Because me being from the streets of Chicago and joining the United States Marine Corps, gave them 10 years of my life. Do you think I talked anything like this? I had to learn how to talk corporate America in my late 20s when I got out the Marine Corps. I knew how to communicate, but it was very small amount of words, 4-letter words, and I got it done. Because that's how you talk. Slang, I'm from the city. So I've had to grow up. I never would have thought I've been on the Hill 5 times at this point, knowing that there's an appointment sometime this summer for me to go back to talk on behalf of all of you in here. You would have never told me I would be able to do that, or why I even would. So again, but I'm being me wherever I am. My swag come with me. Chi-Town gon' show up because I don't know how to not be her. So that's all I can give you. Be strong in who you are and don't let nobody tell you no without a follow-up.
And then, Travis, a different question for you. How did you learn all the things that it took to build up these 3 different organizations, right? Grow to this massive success, and then like now you're jumping to another different type of entity as well. How did you learn all this stuff? Like, where does that come
you
from?
asked him that question. Thank you. I want to know that.
Of course.
Well, if I sat here and I said, absolutely, it was some divine master plan, I'd be lying to you. First and foremost, I ask an insane amount of questions. How do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? Are you serious? Show me. Right? I'm from a little city called Longview, Texas.
I know where that is.
Where the cows are big and the mosquitoes are big. Right? And, you know, I pride myself on asking a lot of questions and then trying to figure out how to fill in the blanks with regards to that. And so I took SALEX, and SALEX is an aerospace company, of course, and then I saw that IT was going to be the next coming, 15 plus years ago. So guess what I did? Started an IT division. It made sense to me, right? So I did that, spun that out, and now Vallejo Networks is a $25 billion organization with 100 employees nationwide, and we're out buying small IT companies. But that wasn't enough for me. My next venture was I launched a commercial real estate private equity fund called Greenwood. And the reason why I did it was because I wanted to have a more diverse investor group of individuals. Folks that looks like everybody in this office. I wanted to open up opportunity for folks to invest in high quality assets, right? So basically I came up with an idea to automate self-storages, right? And everybody probably uses one around here, to automate self-storages across the United States, or Southeast and the Atlantic regions. And so to answer your question, Eric, really, it's about me trying to ask a lot of questions, try to put myself in those kind of situations and then filling in the blanks, because you're not going to know everything. But you can pretty much well chart your way through it and then fill in the pieces. And that worked for me. But again, I ask an insane amount of questions. So don't talk to me if you don't want me questioning, because I'm going to ask, right? I'm going to ask. My curiosity, as an entrepreneur, the one thing that you should always have is be curious about everything. Do not go to dinner with me because I'm doing the math. While you're talking over there, I'm probably doing the math on, man, they got 7 people sitting over there in the corner. I've asked for 3 drinks and so my curiosity and some of those things and asking a lot of questions has really been a very influential part of my growth and going into a lot of different areas.
I'm going to add for him what he didn't say that I know applies to us. We want to make a difference, and we want to give back to our community. Because that's also what you're doing, especially that last thing you pulled off.
It's really important. Look, you can make all the money in the world. If you're not trying to help somebody, something's wrong, right? My job, or what I'm really taking on right now, is to throw a rope back and to bring as many people along with me as I can possibly bring. And so, you want to ask me something? Absolutely. I'm going to give you the answer to it. And guess what? I'm not even going to charge you for it. Because I want you to know. I want you to prosper. I want you to grow. Right? So if we all did a little bit of that, just a little bit, we're going to be better off. And so that's my mission. You're absolutely right. Because I want everybody to know.
I wanted
I want
that
you
to
to
come
know.
out.
Oh,
I
everybody
wanted
knows.
that to come out. I really, and thank you for that. I know they're trying to shut us down because, you know, we are the community that does not support each other like many others. I'm being quiet on for a reason. I want you to hear that. It's real. We are the lowest in revenue in this country in business. 2016, I think African American women's annual revenue from the national level was about $27,000. The highest on the list was Indians from India, $300 and something thousand. That's a big gap. And the only one up from us happened to be Puerto Rican. They were at like 50 something. So they like 50% more. So we have to do better in what he talked about in giving back and helping each other. But we also got to think about when we're going to start buying from each other instead of walking past that store, driving past that store. I expect them to stay in business. Ain't nobody else coming. Hello, somebody. You know, and it's common sense, but we don't use common sense on this area when it comes to our money, and we're defeated in this country for it. So we must step up in that area in order to do better as an overall, and stop selling out and get some old money in this country.
All right. And I'm going to emphasize something final words.
Purposely putting it down.
I'm not sure I can follow that.
I'm in the mic. I'm done. But I know you agree.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of positive momentum. And, you know, we talk about it. There's something different about entrepreneurs. You're built differently. You all are built differently. And so believe in that. Embrace that. Right? Be curious. Be different. And above all, don't quit. Don't quit. And that has saved me many times and has propelled me to where I'm at and what I'm trying to do. And so that's what I give to you as an entrepreneur. And I know it may sound cliche, I get it. I absolutely get it. But you need this every once in a while because somebody's out in that audience thinking about, man, boy, it'd be certainly a lot easier if I went and got, you know, this, or if I went and did this, right? So you need this, because I remember sitting there and been 30 days away from saying, that's enough. Why do I want to put myself through this? I don't want to do this anymore. So you gotta believe. Okay? You gotta believe.